Hi Sagittarius, this month for you is about real deep psychic regeneration and amazing insights that really powerfully come into your experience and change you for the better for the long run. Hello Sagittarius, I hope you're all doing really well. I don't know if you can see, but it is snowing behind me and I'm really excited about it. I haven't seen snow like this in so long, so I thought I'd change the backdrop today so that you could all enjoy the snow with me. Okay, so I really like this month for you Sagittarius. This is a month where you can see your finances really get a big boost, where you can really see you getting a more mature grasp on your, not just your finances, but your feelings of self-esteem and your understanding of yourself. And I feel like a lot of you are going to be taking some really strong, powerful, affirmative action in terms of moving your life forward. And a lot of this is going to be to do with Jupiter going retrograde in your 12th house, which I will talk about in a minute. So we start the month off, we start the month off with, I drank way too much tea, I think. We start the month off with a full moon in your 10th house. Okay, so this full moon, I like this full moon, it's an interesting one. But let's start with what's going on with Neptune. So Neptune's opposing this full moon, right? And I see there being a feeling of, for a lot of us, there's a potential for a feeling of slight disappointment, a feeling of feeling let down, maybe feeling like we've let ourselves down, or feeling a little bit, not necessarily victimized, but just feeling a little bit wounded, perhaps betrayed, feeling somewhat disappointed. There is that energy in the air. Now, I wouldn't worry too much about this, and I've said this to so many other signs, I wouldn't worry too much about this because I feel like it's not going to be a huge thing, but I feel like this slight disappointment actually leads to a more mature understanding of yourself as a result of what you go through, okay, as a result of how it plays out. So we start this month off, and there's a lot of emotional sensitivity. It's best, if you can, to be direct and to be clear. Things could be somewhat murky, things could be somewhat hard to kind of pin down, but this moon also trines Saturn in your 2nd house and Pallas Athena in your 6th house, so I really like this for you. So I feel like once you get over whatever initial disappointment there may be, or whatever feeling of hurt or sensitivity there is, you come through it, and you come through it in a really mature way that makes you go, okay, you know what, I can grow beyond this, and I can leave that behind. I can take the lesson and move on. And there is a feeling of, I mean, this is about success. This full moon is about a culmination and a feeling of success in terms of my self-esteem, in terms of the work I do, in terms of my finances. So, you know, this is playing out in your money houses. So this can see something really positive occurring for you in terms of business and work. This can see you being recognized in your workplace. This could see a bit of a boost or something coming to fruition. If you've got some sort of project or you own your own business, you know, the beginning of the month could see it come to a really satisfactory conclusion where you reap really good results, because Pallas Athena is about creative intelligence and success and competition, you know. So this sees you, I think, coming out on top. And it might, like I said, it might be preceded by a slight feeling of disappointment, but then you soon get to grips with whatever it is and you come out on top. Now this could even be as personal as your own perspective of yourself in business, in work, in your career. You could at first think, oh goodness, I've let myself down, or I failed at something. But then as you go into that lesson, you kind of come out of it and you go, actually, no, I haven't. And that was just a learning experience, and I can see how much I've grown, okay? So I really like this for you. All the planets are direct for the first week until Jupiter goes retrograde, okay? And the energy as well for you has been in your 4th house, or it is in your 4th house at the beginning of this month. So this is seeing you like feeling like you want to spend time with people you care about, people who are close to you, maybe even people that you've known from the past. This sees you want to spend quiet time to yourself as well, to reflect, wanting to be in the home, not really wanting to be out and about that much, but just wanting to be in the home and feeling a sense of I feel like it's almost like you need time with you as well. That's the sense that I'm getting as well with this. But there are some really lovely opportunities because Jupiter is making some really lovely aspects to the personal planets in your 4th house, Jupiter being in the 12th. I feel like there's really lovely opportunities for private moments with people that are where you connect on a spiritual level, where you connect on a really profound and deep level. And these can be people who mean a lot to you, people who are very close to you, or it could be people from your past, because the 12th house is about, it is about the past, as well as the 4th house. They both look at the past. And with Jupiter going retrograde, this can bring people back from the past, where you just have moments where it's either moments where you really connect, and it can be quite healing, or it can be moments where actually, this person comes in your life and then they disappear just as quickly, but as a result you learn something profound about yourself that changes your perspective of who you are and where you're at this point in life. So I really love this. So on the 8th is when Jupiter goes direct in your 12th house of dreams, of the subconscious, of the spiritual, of self-undoing, self-sabotage, hidden enemies. It's very psychic, this house, okay? So you're doing, whether you know it or not, you will be doing the work. If you can do it consciously, that's even better. Now, it could be that something comes to such a head that you have to do the work, okay? And you kind of go, okay, I can no longer carry on with this behavior or with this mentality or in this way. I need to go deep within myself to discover what it is that is making me do this, or to just give myself some love, some healing, and some introspection. You are changing on a very profound, deep level, and Jupiter is blessing you, and he's wanting to get to the core of any wounds and anything that resides within you that isn't cohesive with your vision of yourself and where you want to be and who you truly want to be. Okay, so this is a great time over the next 4 months until the 10th of July to give yourself permission to meditate. Give yourself permission to go on those long walks by yourself. Give yourself permission to journal. Give yourself permission to listen to those inspirational, motivational videos and talks, and to read those things that feed your soul. Give yourself permission to go really deep with yourself and make your relationship with yourself your highest priority, Sagittarius. That's what I'm really feeling for you. And do it in a way that is spiritual. Not all of you are going to be very spiritual, but I really do think that this is about going deep, and you're going to gain, I feel like you're going to have moments of such clarity. You're going to have like flashes that just come out of the universe, and it'll be like sudden healing, because this is very healing energy, and it's in a house that is about healing and about releasing and about letting go. And how awesome that Jupiter is retrograding in your 12th house of letting go, before he comes into your 1st house where he can give you all these blessings. So first we must create space before we can receive the goods that we want. So this is for you, Sagittarius, about emotional decluttering. This is a month of emotional and psychic and spiritual detoxification, okay? And it can happen in a forced way, but it's better if we can run with it. So go deep within yourself. What mental patterns need to be debunked, demystified, let go of? It's a real time for purification for you, and it will see you, if you work with this, I really see you coming out so strong. And for a lot of you, I really see hang-ups and issues and self-sabotaging behaviors that you've had, possibly for your whole life, leaving you for good. And I don't say that lightly. I see you leaving these things behind for good and coming out of this period and going, wow, I am a completely different person, or I am exactly who I was always meant to be. And I love that for you. Okay, so we have a new moon in your 4th house on the 17th. And this new moon touches on Jupiter, Chiron, and Pluto, and it's very healing new moon, okay? It's very positive. And so this is about healing the past. This is about fresh starts in terms of the past, in terms of my home, in terms of my structure, in terms of my family. And there is a healing around this now. You might have a moment with a relative or a moment with someone really close to you, wow, that allows for some really deep healing, or it could just be an intimate moment with yourself. But there's a new moon here that is allowing a sense of healing, that is allowing a sense of being able to put the past to bed and to leave it there and to walk into the future feeling like you have your structure, like you have your base, you have your roots. That's the word I was reaching for. Like you have your roots in place, and I really, really love that. Mars is going to be moving from on the same day from your first house, where you've been very direct, you've been very determined, you've been very like go-getter energy, you've probably been very vigorous. Now he's going to move into your second house along with Pluto and Saturn, so this is becoming a powerhouse of energy, your second house of resources, finances, self-esteem. Now this is lovely because this area is transforming and it's being restructured for you, right? Saturn's there wanting to give it real grounding and structure, and now Mars is there giving extra energy and ambition there, right? Whilst you're doing this healing work with Jupiter retrograde. So you are building your self-esteem, you're looking at how you invest your talents, your abilities, your money, your time, your energy. You are growing and changing and becoming more mature in terms of your values, in terms of your investments, in terms of how you handle your finances, in terms of your self-esteem. I feel like you're becoming more independent. You're not so much needing to rely on other people to give you that boost, you know. It's that you're realizing, actually, I value myself, and I'm able to do these things for myself, and I love that. So the energy starts to move then into your fifth house, okay? After you've been in that private house of your fourth house, intimate life and family in the past, now he starts to move into the fifth house, so it becomes more about fun, creativity, play, romance, and children. It will see these things coming to the fore. It will see you, if you're kind of open to dating and open to meeting somebody new, there's opportunity for this as we go later into the month. And I think there's, you know, a lot of fun to be had there. But bear in mind that Mercury will be retrograding on the 23rd. So this means that, you know, this would be a good time for you to go over creative projects. This would definitely be a good time for that. Watch communication with children. Watch your communication with potential lovers, with people you're dating. Just be mindful that you may not be seeing the whole picture as it relates to these two groups of people. There could be something that perhaps your children are kind of keeping from you, or maybe there's an issue surrounding your child and you're not seeing the full picture. So don't rush into anything. Just take time until you can see the full picture with clarity. Oh my goodness. Wow. I've never seen it like this before. Until you can see the full picture with clarity, or if you're dating somebody, enjoy it for what it is. Don't go too deep with it. Just have fun with it, and just know that you may not be seeing the totality of this person, and there will be more to be revealed, but just enjoy the process, okay? There is real energy here as well of like being able to immerse ourselves in our creativity, okay? Because there is quite a bit of Neptunian energy that's there at the beginning of the month. So for those of you who are creative, I see you really putting energy into your creativity and really getting a lot of enjoyment out of it. Okay, we finish the month off with a full moon in Libra in your 11th house. And this full moon is, you know, this is about some sort of conclusion. This is about fruition. So this can relate to your peer groups. This can relate to networking, social networking, your dreams, your goals, your wishes, the love you receive from others. Bear in mind that this full moon is part of a T-square, okay? And he's squaring off with Saturn in your second house, as well as Mercury. He's opposing Mercury in your fifth house. So at the time of this full moon, my advice for you, Sagittarius, would be to go with Cancer, right? So my advice for you, because there's a bit of tension around it, at the same time, this is like activating energy. It's motivational energy. So it will be to do with your values, it will be to do with your resources, and it will be to do with other people. So it can play out in terms of like how much time you're able to give to others, how much time others are giving to you, you know, where you're gaining or losing perhaps through others. It might play out in terms of romance, who you align yourself with, that kind of thing. But my advice to you would be, to go towards Cancer, go towards that 8th house, okay? Go towards emotional sensitivity at the time of this full moon, and perhaps even retreat a little bit and take it as an opportunity to go deep within yourself, so that this doesn't have to play out in terms of you know, your dating life, or it doesn't have to play out in terms of the people you align yourselves with. There is something here that is being brought to light, okay? And if you can approach it from a more kind of inner place, then hopefully that will alleviate any drama needing to happen in the outer world, to bring it into your focus. And then Venus enters at the end of the same day. Venus enters your 6th house, so goes into your house of, you know, day-to-day routine and health and work and people you work with, your colleagues. So this sees you feeling a lot more love on the job, a lot more appreciation for the job, and probably having people appreciate you more, and maybe even some opportunities for love through work. But we'll talk more about that as we enter April. But all in all, I really like this month for you, Sagittarius. You know, there is a real decluttering that can happen here, and I feel like you're becoming strong in terms of your foundations, and you're becoming strong in terms of your resources, your values, and your self-esteem, and I love that for you. Okay, Sagittarius, if you liked this, if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Now onto your tarot reading for March.